Hello and welcome to the IGN UK Podcast.
That is peer pressure. We made you do a thumbs up.
I felt really uncomfortable. You'll only get that if you watch the video version of this podcast. But this week I'm joined by Joe Scrabbles.
Hello.
And Daniel Krupa.
Hello.
We're the hoodie crew.
We are the hoodie crew. Old man wearing a hoodie.
Yeah. This is just like the bespoke, like not even bespoke. This is like the identikit outfit of the IGN team.
And we've all got logo t-shirts on. We're doing really well. Well done.
I was going to say we all wear glasses, but that's not true.
No. 2020, baby.
Rory should.
Yeah.
Are you actually?
I could be a pilot.
You probably
I'm
couldn't.
gonna be. I'm gonna be a pilot.
At what point are you going to become a pilot?
Tomorrow.
Okay, all right then. You're going to fly to the Switch launch.
Oh, I'd love to. Imagine me turning up in an Apache gunship.
There are so many things that I'd love to see you do.
Yeah.
Do we have to email Nintendo PR? Have you? What's the nearest runway?
helipad.
What have you
Guys,
got?
you gotta-
Heathrow, is it?
You don't
Hammersmith
need a runway
helipad.
for an Apache gunship.
Do you not? Oh, it's got a helicopter. Oh, all right.
Come on.
All right. Sorry.
You
Helicopter
could land on a
nerd.
runway. That's the versatility of a helicopter.
It's a gunship. Planes aren't called gunships. And it's not a boat.
Yeah, that's what, but like, to be fair, you're calling it a ship when it's not.
Well, I didn't call it that.
All right.
That's what.
Let's get on with
whoever
this.
makes an Apache.
All right. I'll learn all of them, all right?
Yes.
Just stop arguing.
All I want to know is who won the Assassin's Creed competition from 2 weeks ago.
Let me tell you, it was Alex Cloten and Mark Lee.
Well done.
We're going to get in touch and send you posters. Are they posters? I wasn't on that
Poster
podcast.
signed by Marion Cotillard, the director, and Michael Fassbender.
Fassbender.
That's special celebrity ink.
So look out for those on eBay in a couple of weeks.
If they licked the biro before they wrote on it, like people do in films, then you've got some of their DNA. You can
who
clone
looks
them.
biros before they use them?
People on.
That's how you get more ink out
Well,
of them.
I know what you mean.
That's how you get more ink.
That's like how detectives rub cocaine on their lips.
I know. You'll be like, is he allowed to do that?
Yeah.
So, actually, I might just have a bit more. Just got to check. Just,
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of paperwork this afternoon.
Sticking it in his eyes.
Most people just get a biro that doesn't work and just do circles, right?
Biro full of cocaine.
Who knows what's because celebrities.
That's what's in biros, cocaine.
What do you think? What do you think Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard do more than anything else? Act in films. So maybe they think that's just what you do. They get told
what's
to
Brad
make
Pitt got
biros
to do
all the
with
time.
it?
Brad Pitt, he's with Marion
Yeah,
Cotillard,
well,
isn't he?
there's a rumour there.
Oh, is
Sorry,
it?
I'm thinking of the film.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a rumour.
What's
that
the
they,
Zemeckis film?
Back to the Future.
Anyway, they weren't doing press for that because they were getting asked too many questions about whether they were having
right?
a great old time.
Licking their-
Brad and
licking
Angelina.
Licking their biros.
Because that's why Brad and Angelina split up. Apparently, we're going to be talking
Biro
mainly
licking.
about Hollywood gossip today.
Yeah.
I thought it was because... Oh, no. That wasn't confirmed, was it? So
Are you about to slander someone?
I might
Again on
have
the podcast.
I go for a 100% hit rate.
This is the last episode of the IGN UK podcast.
Especially with Brad Pitt. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's not do that.
Well done, Alex and Mark.
But rather than cancel the IGN UK podcast, let's talk about something that definitely is cancelled.
Ah, nice.
Scalebound.
Oh, poor old Scalebound. Were either of you excited for it? No. I don't think you were.
I was like quite interested in it. I probably would play it. It's like dinosaurs, a bit like dragons, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's
I love
good.
that's all you need.
Right.
That's all I need as a through line.
That's why Reign of Fire is your favourite film.
Shut up. Yeah, I was quite interested, but it's been around for so long. My interest maybe was waning.
So I'm a massive Kamiya fan. That man can do no wrong as far as I'm concerned. Have you ever seen the picture of him in a leather jacket with his mum? From a kid? Oh, I'll show you that afterwards. Go and look it up. It's
It's
amazing.
in Joe's wallet.
I would love... Actually, I might put that in my wallet. I've got a little transparent section now that I'm not using. I might do that. That'd be quite fun.
What was in there before?
Just my driving licence.
Oh, okay.
Just,
Don't need that anymore. Got a pilot's license now.
it was Shinji Mikami.
Yeah, your favourite developer.
Yeah, just always young pictures of my favourite Japanese devs. But so it basically no one really knew what it was. It got really bad showings at Gamescom, like publicly.
Oh, I didn't think the showing at E3 was particularly great.
Oh yeah, that was bad too.
Yeah.
I forgot they'd even done it there.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors, I saw it twice.
Okay.
And it was presented by Kamiya, who was so excited for it. Because
Right.
he's got this public persona of being a grumpy man.
Yeah.
He was so happy to be making this game, which makes it even sadder, because it was a proper passion project.
Yeah.
It was an idea he'd had since before Bayonetta.
Right.
And yeah, it's been unceremoniously axed. And it was beginning to look like exactly what I wanted out of that game. Like the last time I saw it, they'd introduced this system because they'd always had this problem with the dragon was an AI that you sort of kind of Last Guardian,
Yeah, I was gonna
like
say,
push towards things.
Can you please kill these people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but in your own time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I saw it, they had essentially you held down L2, the camera switched, and a really cool mechanic. Wherever you were looking, like wherever you'd positioned the main character, it became a side-scrolling game from that perspective. So you were then playing a beat-em-up, essentially using the dragon from Drew's position. So it was like he threw his soul into the dragon.
Oh, God.
And you were suddenly playing Devil May Cry from a fixed camera, but you were using a dragon doing kind of kung fu.
And it was good?
It looked fucking brilliant.
Okay,
it
fair
looked
enough.
so cool.
Something Microsoft did not like that.
Yeah, well,
Have you
exactly.
seen it?
I've never seen that. No.
I was going to
So-
say, because I'm still trying to figure out what it looks like. Have they shown footage of it?
They've never shown footage of it. They
Right.
just did it behind closed doors.
Okay.
And yeah, Kamiya was just sitting there jabbering away in Japanese, his translators desperately trying to keep up, because he was just sitting there going like, look what we've done! You can like play Devil May Cry with a dragon.
Right.
And yeah, that had sold me completely. And I was like, they finally nailed it.
Yeah.
This is how they're going to ship this game. Axed. Done. And that's it.
So rumour is it they basically missed a big milestone over Christmas.
There's some sort of and there's been apparently it's been in development trouble for much longer than just that.
Right.
I don't think Kamiya takes well to being told what to do.
Yeah.
Actually, there's an amazing thing that both of us saw, and I think you saw as well, which is Nathan Brown from Edge put up a chopped transcript from an interview he did with the guys making Nier, which we'll talk about as well, which is
Another
Platinum
Platinum
Games
game,
as
yeah.
well. And them saying, we've worked with other publishers, not going to name them, who think that they know more about making games than we do. And I think the words were like, you don't know more than us about making games, fuck off. Which is true, because Platinum make the best games. And so it's like, it is this very odd thing where I see why Microsoft might not want that project under their auspices, but it's an incredibly sad thing to lose.
But also, like, the day it was announced, they were trying to wipe it from all existence as well. Like, they were taking down all the trailers, all the gameplay footage, and they were just getting it from all their channels.
Yep.
Like, it's been eradicated.
Yeah, and no one's sure why. Like, I've asked around, like, people I know within Microsoft. No one knows why they're doing that.
Was there possibly a thing if, like, Platinum owned the IP and it comes out with someone else, Xbox still want to be publicising
So that's the
a
rumour.
potential game for another publisher?
Yeah, the rumour is that they've retained the rights, and that's why they've done it. Because, for context, Microsoft didn't do this when they cancelled Fable Legends. They didn't do this when they cancelled Phantom Dust.
Because I was going to say maybe that's just like
Yeah,
if
procedure.
something similar happened at Apple,
No.
you can bet your bottom dollar
Initiate
everybody-
protocol.
Exactly.
They don't-
That's just how big corporates.
Microsoft
work, but
don't
okay.
have a scorched earth policy like this.
Right,
So
okay, fine.
it's very odd
that
that
is
they would
weird
have done
then.
this.
Yeah.
And I hope that is the case. I would love Kamiya to continue making that.
Have you seen, like, the kind of the report card or the scorecard for Xbox's 2014 E3 press conference? So if you went back and watched what was announced at that press conference, let me go through it.
Yeah.
Fable Legends.
Yep.
Project Spark.
Dead.
Yeah.
Dead. Phantom Dust.
Dead.
What was that?
It was like a remake
It's
of
a remake of a cult Xbox Japanese weird
Two-player
card
fight?
brawling arena brawl
Wow, I
thing.
do not remember that.
that.
Yeah.
Scalebound.
Yeah.
Dead. Ori and the Blind Forest. Tick.
There you go.
Was a very good game, to be fair. But yeah, like they have, and this is the weird thing: is Phil Spencer's whole thing was, "I'm coming in. We're making games again. We're doing cool stuff that's not just games as service."
To be fair, they are making games. They're just not releasing them.
Yes, that's very true.
A lot of time making them.
Yeah. Have you? I'd never seen this before. I think I just linked it to you before we came on. But have you ever seen Jason Schreier from Kotaku's report on the Phantom Dust remake? I assume not, because you didn't know what it was.
No.
It is. I recommend you go and read it, because it is the most damning look at how Microsoft publishes games. Like, some of the stuff in that report, like, so the main bit for me is they contracted this little Floridian studio to make this Phantom Dust remake, and it was their first ever game they'd made. They'd helped on Sunset Overdrive and stuff, but they've never made their own. And they were super excited, and they got contracted to make a multiplayer-only brawler using the systems from the original game. Sounded really cool. And then they came back literally a week later and said, "Oh, we also want a 6-hour campaign." And they were like, "Okay, we reckon we can manage that."
Yeah.
Ken Lobb, who's their like sort of blue sky thinking man that's not Kudo Tsunoda, turned up on a podcast like quite a while later and just said, "Oh yeah, it's a 30-hour JRPG." And they had never heard anything about this. And the quote is, people at Microsoft said Ken Lobb just does stuff like that. And you just go, what?
That's a bit kind of a Peter Molyneux sort of thing.
Exactly,
isn't it?
yeah, just making shit up.
Promises.
And then they got cancelled because they asked for $2 million more.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah, to continue making more things.
Yeah.
Also, the trailer that came out for Phantom Dust, they had nothing to do with it. They weren't their character designs. They had no idea that they were going to be announced at E3. Microsoft just said, "Oh, you should watch the show."
What?
Yep. And they'd made them a launch trailer.
You couldn't work like that, could you?
What is going on?
Oh my gosh.
And obviously, this is all coming from one side. Maybe Microsoft has a different story.
And I'm sure similar things happen across the board.
Yes.
Well, I've heard
maybe some people are better at keeping it under wraps.
Yes.
Sometimes that's a bad thing. We've talked a lot about this, and we don't have that long. But also, you should all play the Nier Automata demo, which shows why Platinum is so good.
And Platinum put out a statement on their blog about the cancellation of Scalebound, which was very concise, but it ended by saying Nier's coming out, and we think this is some of our best work.
Not only that, the producer Inaba, who's worked with Kamiya a lot, they're sort of a duo within that company, has also said to Famitsu that he's making a new game. And Kamiya possibly separately said his only words for 2017's goals were, "We are quietly making progress." So I think he may have already transitioned onto something else, which is really
make
exciting.
so many games.
It's nuts. They are a small company.
Also, like similarly, FromSoft, because they've got like 3 projects in the works, in a similar kind of that kind of industrious small team, but like relatively small team to turn out all those big games in a few years. Just really focused.
Oh, they might have a new Armored Core this year. That'd be rad. Armored Core's wicked. So yeah, that Platinum, I think there is hope, but it is super sad that Scalebound got cancelled, because that was a cool looking thing and weird, and there's so little weird around.
The dude wearing the headphones.
I know, it was a bad design. He's a very...
That's the thing, he's just like... isn't he?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But it was a good game, or it looked like it.
Could have been. Might still be.
Yeah.
It might still be.
Split. You should talk about Split.
I saw the new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
We need to have
we should interview him. Just
and
ask.
Just say, please, mate.
On record, is it Shyamalan?
Shyamalan.
He must have said.
Yeah.
He must have done.
Anyway,
we're ignorant.
That's maybe on me. That's on me. Yes. So his new movie, which is Split, and I was speaking to Gav about this the other day. He's made some very good movies at the beginning of his career, and then he got this reputation of a kicking, because a lot of his movies are kind of like, they'd be very good Twilight Zone episodes, or Black Mirrors, even though obviously it's different sort of focus. Yeah, and on TV that works really well, because you go, this week's was a bit shit. Next week it might be all right. In the kind of anthology style. Whereas with the cycle on a movie, if it's 2-3 years between them, if he has a bad one, that's the current mindset regarding his work until he makes a decent one. And his last movie, The Visit, have you seen this?
No.
About the grandparents?
Oh, yes.
It's really good. And I feel like the expectation's been dialed back because he's had a few bad movies. This one came along and it's pretty well received, and it's a really fun kind of weird horror movie, and it's really interesting. And then this is kind of another one that's coming in with lower expectations now, because he's kind of
I think a lot of people don't even know it's him.
No,
because it's all been predicated on James McAvoy as most.
I think also the marketing thing, they're kind of not pressing him as a brand, which they did for a time. Like after Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, and Signs, it was M. Night Shyamalan's Presents sort of thing, and it's James McAvoy obviously having the bloody time of his life playing this character who has split personality disorder.
Yeah, I've seen a trailer for it.
Now, I'm not going to go too much into the specifics of the plot and where it goes, although I would say it's a lot of fun. Like, there's some bits in it that are quite silly. But it is quite fun, and something amazing happens at the end.
You've told me what happens at the end.
And it is unbelievable what happens at the end. So I'm not going to say, and it's not...
In a good or a bad way?
It's not a twist in the same sense that Sixth Sense has a twist. You can see it a mile off. I don't think you could see this coming at all.
It's made me want to see the film way more.
And I'm interested that they didn't take a decision to sell the film based around it.
I'm intrigued.
So it's definitely intriguing, and it's a good fun film to go see. So he has a split personality disorder, but the idea is that these different personalities that occupy him, and I think he has 23 in the movie, of which you see 6 because maybe he can't do that many accents. It doesn't even get to do a Scottish one.
It's not Orphan Black.
And they're all contesting for what they call in the movie the light. So different characters come to the forefront and they have their light.
Yep.
They're in the spotlight, so they have control over the body and the entire mind.
Weird.
And they can suppress the other personalities.
Yeah.
But there's a slight more kind of supernatural element to the movie that science or supernatural, it depends how you quantify it, is when he has a different personality, his physiology changes to a degree. So when he has a character inside him who thinks they're diabetic, he becomes diabetic.
Right.
Okay.
So your physiology actually changes.
Right.
So some versions of him are stronger than other ones.
Right.
So there's a guy called Dennis who occupies his body who's very stern.
Yeah.
And this happens right at the beginning of the film. It's in the trailer. He kidnaps 3 girls for some reason that you find out over the course of the movie. And he is physically way stronger than all the other personalities. Right. And it's kind of all these personalities are contesting for dominance within him. And there's alliances between the different personalities.
Right.
So it's really interesting. And he's keeping them locked in this basement. And I can't really say much more than that.
Yeah.
But James McAvoy, obviously, like I said, is having the time of his life because he gets to do all this like nuts
Crazy
stuff.
stuff,
Like,
yeah.
He's
and
good
like
when he's a bit
having
unhinged
conversations
as well.
with. Yeah,
He's like-
I really like James McAvoy.
Yeah.
One, he's a very good actor, but like, so there's a woman within him. I can't remember what she's called, but she's kind of almost like a stern middle-aged woman who's and very kind of prissy and like exact with the way she makes sandwiches. She's got OCD. Like she gets really angry if a sandwich isn't exactly cut in half.
Right.
And he's like, because he's got a skinhead in the entire movie.
Yeah.
When he changes within a scene, you just see the way he holds himself, and he'll like clutch his jacket like it's a shawl.
Right.
So it's a really great performance where
yeah.
he's having conversations with himself.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun to watch.
That's cool.
But I would definitely recommend it, and I'm looking forward to when the thing at the end becomes known. Like it is a spoiler right now.
Yeah.
But I think almost immediately once the movie comes out, it'll be talked about, and it's not a spoiler. It's more interesting than that.
It's a weird element of context.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
All right.
I am actually really excited to see it now, and I was kind of like, oh, I'll probably watch it on Netflix in a year or something.
Yeah.
Now I quite want to see it in the cinema.
Yeah.
Like it sounds fun. Like, it
I think
sounds
it's
very
fun.
odd.
I think Gav thought it was. There's some like little dud moments in it and like weird bits of dialogue and bits of acting, but it is a fun movie.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad he's doing this kind of stuff again.
Yeah.
With like quite
lower
small
budget
scale as well.
Yeah, like and then you can be more creative and do kind of more weird stuff like that.
Yeah, because there's not much weighing on it.
Yeah, because his films got bigger and bigger, and I think what was his first Duff one, like Lady in the Lake,
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water, yeah, and where it's like Paul Giamatti, and it's like basically Paul Giamatti was he like angry at critics, and it was almost like him swiping back at people, and then the terrible Mark Wahlberg one, The Happening.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was the one
bad.
where I was like. I never walk out of films, but that was the one I was pretty close to.
Did you know Signs? We did this on a podcast. Signs, the original tagline was "There has been a happening," which is really weird. I quite like that.
Odd.
Yeah, he just likes that word, I think.
The new episode of Sherlock's very good, by the way. I know, just talking about TV shows.
I thought it was all right. I thought
it?
it was all right. I thought the first one was terrible.
I gave up on that show.
I didn't think it was
mediocre.
terrible.
I think
But I didn't think it was great.
it's mediocre.
Yeah.
I don't need to see like word art flying around the screen anymore. I'm done with that. Him just.
Well,
like,
he just has no. I don't mind that, but it's got
looking
no consistent style or frequency to it. Like, do it all the time. It just feels like they do it when they remember. Oh, we can do that if we want. In a
As I
scene.
say, it doesn't really happen in episode 2.
No? Okay.
It happens in episode 1 a lot.
Great.
In episode 2, he does that thing where it appears around her and he's like wiping out
yes,
like
no,
chalk
you're
off
right.
of it.
Yes, you are right,
But it's
yeah.
like,
But apart
there's
from
no
that-
regularity to it.
No.
Like, I wouldn't mind if it like happened all the time when he was going through crime scenes, but it's just no consistency.
Just watch the first few series of House again. Way better Sherlock show. Much
Yeah.
better.
That's true.
Yeah. Right. Tomorrow, we're all going to see The Switch.
So today, if you're listening to this
Yeah,
podcast,
today you've all seen The Switch.
Yeah.
This is kind of our point. We can't organise this so that we've all seen it and record a podcast in time to release, as we should. So, instead, I'm just going to read lots of rumours that have happened for years. Like, I'm going years back for the rumours.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about whether we think they'll happen. We know some of these won't happen. It's just
Okay.
fun to look back. Because it's been such a fascinating process. Because, as you'll see, the first rumour here is from January 2014. And is kind of bang on about what this is. Like, Nintendo was clearly, a year after the Wii U came out,
Yeah.
they went, fuck, and started. And I'm absolutely sure the PS5 is already basically fully planned out.
I have no doubt.
This is how things work.
Yeah.
But it's kind of amazing how quickly all of this stuff leaked out.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that wasn't partly by accident, partly on purpose.
On purpose, yeah.
Like
part of the plan.
Yeah. So in January 2014, NintendoNews.com reported that the Nintendo Fusion would be made up of a DS-like device and a terminal through which it could plug into a TV and would improve its performance somewhat, and that it would unify the two platforms.
That's insane. That's quite good, isn't it?
That's pretty spot on. Yeah.
What a clever idea. January 2014.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we've got. And it's been a consistent rumour from different sources.
So where was that rumour from?
It was from... what did they say? They had a very specific turn of phrase. It was like our impeccable sources,
right? Okay.
Or something like that. So someone at Nintendo just went, "Oh, by the way, here's what we're doing." Incidentally, they thought it was called the Nintendo Fusion because they had registered a domain name, Nintendo Fusion.
Yeah.
Turns out that was just an Australian music festival that Nintendo was sponsoring.
I love that.
Which I really like.
Yeah.
Nintendo Fusion, not the worst name.
Not awful. No. Fusion Terminal, though. Well, that's not
Wii
sexy.
U. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, we can talk about that all day.
I would say, I'm really happy with the name Switch. Like when that was announced, I was just like, that's a really cool, cute, interesting name. Like
the animated
the
logo, the way it pops together and everything.
It's really satisfying.
All the branding is really nice on it.
Yeah,
it's got, and you can tell.
Which
you know
that's
how
what I always think about.
PS4 always has the thing at the end of all adverts. That Switch thing, that click, is exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
it's really smart.
Really nice little brand identity.
They are smart.
Marketing.
Other things that they have said in the past, like quite a while ago. At one point, people surmised that, or like rumours said, that instead of a terminal, what it was going to be, it would have an HDMI style, like Chromecast style stick that you would pull out and plug into your TV, and it would just broadcast whatever was on your screen,
your device,
which isn't far from like how the Wii U works. That was just a Bluetooth. I think that was just a Bluetooth connection between. Maybe it wasn't Bluetooth, but it was a connection. Like a seamless screen connection.
But rather than having the base station, that would be built into your.
Yeah, it's just
handset.
reversing how that would work.
Yeah,
which is quite interesting. Like I could see that happening, with any device from now. Like it was quite cool. And what else have we had? It would be the power of 50 Wii U's. Which is the most arbitrary.
I don't even know what that means.
Exactly.
And it's not.
What is that? No, it's definitely not. It's not even the power of one PS4 as far as we can tell.
Let's pick up on that point. Because there's a lot of rumours circulate, and people, again, when you listen to this, you will know, but we're going to talk in the context of today, is that it might be $300.
Yeah.
So maybe £200, £250. I mean, you were talking about how that's a really good counter to the argument that it's not as powerful as other consoles of this generation.
Like, I'm not sure they will. I don't think they'll pitch it this way.
No, I think, but that's an inference in a kind of equation individuals will make.
Yeah, just to go like, it's not a PS4, but it's also a handheld.
It's so much more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can do way more with it, and it costs less.
Yeah, you literally can't do this on PS4.
It's just a completely different proposition.
Because we were just talking about when we get some, we're going to have one for the office.
Yeah.
And suddenly, like as you were saying, oh well, that will have to be the office one. I was like, yeah, but you could just take it home. Which is really weird to think about.
Tomorrow.
Like, it doesn't actually matter anymore, which is amazing. I love the idea of like. From our perspective, that makes reviewing games way easier because when we have to have the save game on a console or whatever.
But even if you have one at home, you can just use the docking station there.
Yeah. Like,
that's brilliant, isn't it?
That's brilliant. Just walking around with our reviews.
What price does it have to be for you to pre-order it? And what's your cut-off?
Well, for me, it's like I'll pre-order it for like £300. Like what
I'm factoring in is like accessories and like what are the bits I might have to buy, because there's a core unit, I guess.
Yep.
But then I'd want some kind of case to put it in if I'm putting it in my bag.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like,
I don't think I would.
We just chuck it in. The screen will get scratched. If that screen gets scratched, I'm going to lose my mind.
You would do my nutting.
That's fair.
And it's
do you
like
have a case for your iPad?
No. Oh wait, no, I do. I've got a screen protector.
Right. There you go.
Just something it kind of slides into, like a sleeve or something.
That'll be all right.
That'll be all right. That's going to be like £30.
Yeah.
Like it's like a sleeve thing, like a neoprene. You can even use a laptop.
I was going to
bag.
say, yeah.
That's a rumor that I haven't
Doesn't have to be
included on
Nintendo
here,
thing.
but there's loads of accessories slowly leaking out, including like a Norwegian retailer had Mario and Zelda things listed with very specific names.
What you mean controllers that slide in? Like
So I think they are bespoke, like official Nintendo cases for the terminal and the terminal. That's what I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
The base station and the actual
a
unit.
case for why do you
Why
case
do you
for
need a
the
case?
Like, as in like a skin.
Oh right, so almost like a faceplate.
So the
Right.
two would look identical,
Right.
but one's a case for the handheld unit and one's for the terminal just to look.
Because they did all those, like, when it was announced that, well, some site did all the different colorations, didn't they? The sort of
yeah, themed
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
of the old
if you
SNES
can mix
version
and match
things
like
that.
coloured
That
like
would be
controllers,
amazing, yeah.
because have they said it's in white yet? Or is it just this gunmetal
It's
black?
just the black at the moment.
Okay.
So I expect tomorrow it'll be black standard, and then I think there'll be Mario and Zelda versions.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, because they
A
did
bit
that
more
with,
like a handheld kind. I know they've done that with consoles in the
they
past.
did Zelda Wii U, which was
don't
like
know
a
if they'll do
Wii
that
U
for
with
launch,
like
though,
lots of
will they?
stuff.
I
think they will.
love Zelda. I hate that it's always gold.
Oh yeah, it's no good. Is
It's
it?
horrible.
It's very gaudy.
Yeah.
Very Trump.
So, anyway, the rumour is it's $300.
Well, that's the Target provisional
Well,
listing,
so
wasn't it?
Target have had $300. More than one UK retailer have got pre-orders up for £200.
Right. But if it's $300, it's going to be £300. The exchange rate right now
That's a
is not far off parity.
Yeah. Oh, £200 is where it's at, though, isn't it?
It's not going to be fun. I'm willing to bet.
we're thinking that, 'cause it's
Willing to
cheap.
bet money.
Ooh, £100 where it's at,
That's
really.
it. I'll pay 50 quid and be happy.
Give me 50 quid, mate.
I love this
I think
because
it's going to be 300 quid.
who all of this is
I know.
going to be apparent to people when they're listening to
And
this.
so
It's really exciting.
I think people are free to hit us up on our Twitter, say you're an idiot, you got it right or wrong.
I would love that.
We
Continue.
were speaking to Gav about this, and he's like, "Oh, would you pre-order if it's 200 quid?" I was like, "Gav, you and I bought a BB-8 for 130 quid."
That was
the day it came
nuts.
out. We
How many times
lost
have you
our
used it
minds.
since?
I used that once 2 years ago.
Good.
What man? It's just me, me and him were just like caught up in the frenzy of it.
Yeah. It
And the
did
group
sound
thing-
like an
Gav
amazing
bought
thing.
two. What? He bought one because he thought he'd like run out at Christmas. It absolutely did not, and he's gonna like flog it like a Buzz Lightyear.
Oh my god.
And he also,
know that.
I think he's still under his desk.
Oh my god.
Jesus, Gav.
And I think then he also bought one because I think he thought his mate would want it and it'd be sold out. And then he said to his mate, "Oh, I've got you this." He's like, "I'm not bothered."
Brilliant. A couple of things from Switch patents. So these are things that have actually officially been patented, but just probably won't happen. One was that the side of the unit would have a projector / sensor on it. And so it would project images of things from the game. So that they're
200 quid.
They're weird. They're weird little.
It's holodeck.
They have these really crude drawings on patent diagrams because engineers can't draw to save their fucking lives. And it was a little man playing baseball on the unit. And then he would hit the baseball out and you'd catch it outside the game. Like it would project the ball on your hand and then you could throw it back at him.
What?
Yeah. Which I think is a hilarious sounding
That is
idea.
definitely not going to happen.
It'll be crap.
That's 100
It
years
would
time.
not work.
That's like a holodeck.
But I think that's really funny. I love the idea of that. Like,
Imagine if they unveil that tomorrow.
Like, the one thing, like, what are they going to use it for? Like, you'll have a Pikachu on your hand, like, going.
Why would? Yeah.
Like,
I
that's
don't-
as good
I don't
as
think
it's
that's going
getting.
That's powers for an Eden.
Well, Powers would go mental. And what's the other? Oh, that it will have. They're going to sell an accessory like a Gear VR type
Yeah,
headset
like
where
basically
you.
turn into VR.
So you slot the unit into the front
It looks
of the
like a
headset.
big old thing, doesn't it? Like,
Just like.
Yeah, does look quite big.
way me
Like,
down.
Yeah.
And then what? You use the controllers.
Then the Joy-Cons become your hands
Right.
in whatever it is. But then I don't know how it would measure where they are, so I don't
Yeah.
think it could
Yeah.
be
I don't
one-to-one
think-
movement.
Because I don't think they are, or maybe they have got accelerometers.
I
but
think
then it's not
the internal unit has an accelerometer.
right.
This is
But still,
all.
you can't track like depth or anything like that. You're only
No.
tracking movement.
Yeah,
because there's
and-
no camera.
And apparently only the right Joy-Con has an IR
Right.
receiver because that becomes the touch. This is all rumors, but
Yeah.
that becomes the touchscreen pointer. If you have a touchscreen
Right,
game,
yeah.
you then
Yep,
plug
yep,
it
yep,
in,
yep.
and you can point at your TV instead.
Right.
Which is kind of interesting. So yeah, like it's feasible, but I can't see how good it would be.
I just don't think it needs it.
Not really.
No.
Like
That's the thing.
I would love to see what Nintendo did with VR. That would just be a fun thing for them to try. But then...
That's the thing, like, they're making a very specific play with this console.
Yeah.
Do you want to, like, twist it out of shape by adding that thing into it? When you've just got this very clear remit for it. It's like, we can offer this and offer it brilliantly, and no one else has got this thing.
And of course, like, the Wii U's... Well, part of the Wii U's downfall is no one knew what the fuck it was. Like, just go...
Don't twist it out of shape.
It's a home console you can take out.
I'm really looking forward to playing loads of Wii U games that I never really spent enough time with.
Oh, my God.
Like... If we all get one, we can play Splatoon properly. I've never played that game properly.
I played Splatoon so much, but I only played it with like 2 other people. I would love to play with a proper team of
fantastic.
people. It's such a good game. And the final thing, this is a list apparently from GameStop Germany of games that are coming out for launch. So, Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario, those feel kind of nailed on.
But can I say, like, it'd be amazing that we might get a new Mario game in 3 months, and then right now we know nothing about it.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Less than 3 months, 2 months.
Yeah.
How long was the wait for 3D World? I don't think it was that much longer. Like, I think they like to go
keep on the wraps,
Mario,
bam,
and it just like
it's really exciting.
So because there are Mario games that are among the best games ever made. Like, it's really easy to forget that. Yeah. So who knows? Like, if they hit that,
they might have made one of the best games in secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope it is. I hope it's a proper, like,
fully fledged.
Exactly, like a Galaxy or something like that.
Did you not think Super Mario 3D World was fully fledged?
No.
Oh, that was great.
It's pretty good. I like playing that with my girlfriend because you can play it like all co-op or competitive.
Yeah, I've played it with Scarlett.
One of my favourite things to do is like run through a door and then close it on her.
Yeah. Also, the snow levels.
That's really funny.
The snow levels where you can just pick up snowballs and just chuck them at people, smack them off the edge. Just like, it's such a
There's
good game.
There's a lot of good stuff in that game. Again, I think it suffers from like the fact that about that point, very few people had Wii U's and were actively playing them.
Yep.
So there was not a lot of discussion about that game. And go, do you remember this moment? Because most people didn't have that experience with that game. Same with Mario Kart even. Like, we didn't play that much in the office.
No. That's an unbelievable game. So yeah, speaking of, Switch Splatoon, Switch Mario Kart 8, and Switch... Are those the only 2 listed?
Are they only going to be... Are they basically the same as the Wii U versions, or are they enhanced?
So they seemingly are enhanced. So when they showed those clips, there were things that weren't present. So there were new characters in Mario Kart 8. There was new customization stuff in Splatoon. It looks like they're a bit different.
Okay.
I can't see any reason for those not to come out after they've shown them.
I've never played any of these Zelda tracks.
Oh, they're brilliant.
No, I've not either.
Or the Animal Crossing ones will play,
The Animal Crossing
Link in Mario Kart. I've never done that.
Every time you play the Animal Crossing one, it changes season.
Yeah, I've read that.
So good. There's also, so we've got NBA and Skyrim is... Oh, Skyrim is on here. So NBA and Skyrim, those are the other 2 that were shown.
Yeah.
That seems fairly nailed on. 2 Sonic games. So, because there are 2 Sonic games in development. There's Sonic Mania, which is the 2D one.
Yep.
And there's the untitled Sonic something, like a big adventure game. That's dated for later. Just Dance and Lego City Undercover, both of which have been announced before. And then 2 Dragon Quest games. So Dragon Quest X, which is their MMO, which has been out since the Wii, but has never come out over here. I played that in Japanese. That was the first thing I ever did in the games industry. It was impossible. I found out that you could take off all your clothes by accident during a fight. So I just kept accidentally undressing my character and just getting killed. And Dragon Quest XI as well, which is mad. And then finally, Monster Hunter, which will blow my fucking mind if it comes out, because I am a huge fan. It's
perfectly set up for that.
It is, it's
the perfect console.
Because, the last time it was perfect was, or close to, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on Wii U and 3DS. You could buy them together and swap your saves between them. It was incredible.
And this is just a more seamless version of that.
Exactly. And then there are 5 spots for placeholders. So
also,
even more.
Also, another amazing thing they do, just really sort out their shop. And if you just having a SNES back catalogue as well on it, just sort it out so it's really easy to do. And
stop being pricks about. I mean, I don't think this is going to happen.
Buying it once and just
buying
having
it on every other console. And having to rebuy it again.
Because I was thinking of Christmas when I was going home on the train and I just took my 3DS. I was thinking of buying A Link to the Past, but then I waited because I thought it might just be on Switch.
Yep.
And I'd really like to play that on the tube on the way into work on that screen.
Yeah. There's a lot of chatter about GameCube games coming out on it as well. Would you replay old GameCube games? I'd play things like stuff that I never really got into at the time and I know I'd like now. Like Beautiful Joe is meant to be incredible and I wasn't good enough to play it when GameCube came out. I might play Sunshine again just to see how it holds up.
Yeah. Can't think of anything else.
Eternal Darkness would be funny to see now.
They've got to bring out Galaxy in HD. We were talking about this in the office the other day.
I don't know if they will.
You'd hope so.
And Skyward Sword. I never finished that.
Oh, that's brilliant. But that game relies on motion controls.
Yeah.
And if they don't have proper one-to-one stuff, then it's just not going to be great.
But even like Twilight Princess, which I know that's got motion controls as well. But like that and Wind Waker, I'd like to play. I've got them both on the Wii U, but
it'd be great to play it on.
I don't have time to play it at home.
Yeah, if you do 2 hours a day on that.
That'd be an amazing.
Wind Waker just doing an island on your commute. That'd be fantastic.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be really cool. So probably all of that's true, and we're all throwing projected baseballs tomorrow.
And we've all pre-ordered.
Oh my god!
For £300.
I'm waking up 7 a.m. tomorrow.
I know tomorrow. I'm gonna lose my head tomorrow and just like I'll order it whatever price is. Cancel it later.
Do you know?
I will be ordering it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I woke up at 5:15 this morning.
Foolish. Why would you do that?
So you thought it was today you was pre-ordering.
My decision.
You should decide to wake up.
So
later.
Daddy, can we pre-order the Switch?
I'm going to text you.
Don't do that.
Saying
Your
like,
daughter would love the Switch.
Yeah, but she hasn't got any money. She can't pay for it. If she could buy it for me, then great.
I'm genuinely more excited to wake up tomorrow than I have been for like on Christmas Eve for like a decade.
What time are you getting up tomorrow?
I don't know. I genuinely might not be able to sleep. Like I'm that excited. I'm so excited.
that's nice.
This is a long day tomorrow. I might actually go to bed early.
Oh yeah.
It's like go to bed at 9, so it's not hard to get.
I might just get in bed and turn on a movie and see if I fall asleep. That'd be quite good.
That's enough about what we're doing tonight.
Exactly.
Slowly remove every item of clothing in a sensual manner. Windows open.
What film are you going to watch?
I don't know.
Probably something erotic.
I might watch Whiplash. That's got a sort of sadomasochistic aspect to it.
One of them from my Emmanuel collection.
Manuel in Space.
It's the window open and Joe was just a light sheet draped over.
Yeah.
In black and white.
It's supposed to be snowing tonight.
Candles.
Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
If it snows tonight and the trains are off tomorrow, I will lose my shit.
That
I will
would feel
walk to Hammersmith. Like, there's no way I'm missing
You're flying.
I will be flying.
At first,
It's more
he won't be
dangerous.
on land.
Tragedy as young helicopter pilot
into the Hammersmith
killed.
Apollo. I made it.
His debut flight.
I'm the only survivor, but all the switches are broken. Like the end of that Twilight Zone episode with the glass.
Destin loses his mind. You get any direct feed? People died, mate.
Exactly. It's Joe's fault as well.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't be allowed to stay.
Oh, lovely.
Wait, it's going to be so good.
Anyway, let's see how much we get right or wrong.
I really hope most of it's right, because I'm excited about almost all of those things.
Apart from the projector and the baseball.
Kind of. If that was on it, I would be excited to see how shit it was.
Yeah.
Put it that way. That would be amazing. That would be so funny.
We got some feedback.
We have. I think last week's podcast you talked about bad cinema experiences.
We did.
Again. So
people. Yes. It's weird whenever Gav's on.
Some people emailed in their bad ones, and there's some quite funny ones. This is Simon Brooke. When I was pretty young, I went to see a movie in Odeon Covent Garden by myself. I sat on an aisle seat, and a man also on his own was sat in the seat in front of me. All was well until about 2/3 of the way through the film, when the guy in front of me got up, went into the aisle, sat in the empty seat behind me, and started kicking the back of my seat really hard about 8 times in a row.
What?
Because I was only a little and dead alarmed. I thought, don't react, like my mum taught me. So everyone else in the cinema just took their attention away from the film to watch me get bounced around in my seat for a bit, while I was pretending it wasn't happening. Then, because I was too scared to turn around, I didn't know if he'd gone, so I just watched the rest of the movie, too afraid to move and busting for a wee.
Oh,
that's horrible.
That's really scary.
I mean, the scariest thing to me is, why's that kid
on his own?
On his own in a cinema?
I also want to know what they were watching.
Yeah,
as well. But that's terrifies me. I'm not a very confrontational person. So if that happened to me, I'd be terrified. So also I'm terrified about losing my rag, because I think if it did happen one day, I might just kill someone. Like I would just like.
I thought maybe you throw a punch, but no, you're going to go straight.
No, I think if I was pressed, I'd probably just rip someone's head off.
You know that thing?
I just like you press me too far, I'll snap, and I'll just go for you.
Do you get that thing where you're furious, but you're also scared? So your furious voice is like, stop it!
I'm scared. Yeah, partly I'm scared.
I would turn around and be like, please.
I just know, like, I know what I want to say, and it'll just come out, and it'll be pathetic, and then I'll get angry, and then I'd probably kill him.
Yeah.
While they're laughing at you.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be laughing, would he? Because he'd have no face.
Snapped in half like a cinema seat.
I'd eat his eyes.
Well, I think
just suck them out.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Your piece of feedback next?
I can do that. Daniel Price. I recently took a friend to go see Arrival. Well done, you're a good friend. Upon our arrival, about 30 minutes before the screening was due to start, collected our tickets and proceeded to the screen. At the door, we were greeted by a member of staff who checked our tickets and confidently told us to go on through to the screen. Confidence. What's that about? Entering the room, me and my friend were surprised at how dark the room was. Usually, while the trailers are playing, there's some light on? ? Not really paying any attention to the trailers on the screen other than to notice our giant shadows as we walked in front of the projector. What? Weird. In trying to find our seats in the darkness, we had to ask several people to stand up to let us through. The level of disgruntlement this was met by surprised us, but we continued to our seats. Once seated, we began discussing how unhappy the people around us seemed to be, and also how full the cinema seemed to be half an hour before the film was meant to start. As our conversation ended, and I then looked up at the screen for a moment to see starring Amy Adams and the preceding end credits of Arrival. As the lights came on, it became very apparent I had become what I hate, as I ruined the final and very poignant moments of that film for so many people. I am very thankful Gav wasn't present at the time. Daniel!
Imagine if you had to get up right at the end.
Bad experience.
I'd just sit there. Be like, it's post-credits. I just want to see that.
Because you're more professional than I am, I should say my email was from James from Southampton.
Well done, James.
Okay. I've got an email from Travis Donbeck.
Oh, no, that was wrong. This is Simon Brooke. I read my next one. That's even more unprofessional. It's all gone to shit.
He's going to kill one of us.
Exactly.
Travis Donbeck.
Yeah.
That's an amazing name.
Good. He
sounds like he's in a Suda 51 game.
He says, hey, UK Podcast, you had me cracking up with your terrible cinema experiences on last week's episode, so I figured I'd share mine. Last year, I'd gone to see The Witch, which was fantastic, at the cinema. Which, because of its heavy use of Old English, even if you speak the language, is a movie that could probably use subtitles. Anyway, an Asian couple sat directly beside him and his fiancée, and at first, they thought that it was going to be an issue for them because they could constantly hear chatter beside him. After a while, I could only hear the guy's voice, and I very quickly realised that the guy was translating literally the entire movie to his girlfriend.
That's outrageous.
That is outrageous.
So he's translating Old English
back into Old English.
His head, he's translating Old English to modern English into whatever language
Japanese,
they speak.
Chinese, whatever it might be. Yes.
What are these?
He politely asked the guy to stop talking, which he did. But I can only imagine their car ride home, where he had to recap the entire movie to his girlfriend.
That's good of him that he stopped.
Yes.
But how is that okay?
That's madness.
Live translation. That's.
Yeah.
Maybe he was practicing.
That was one of my issues with that film. So we saw it. You didn't go to the screening in San Francisco.
I'd already seen it.
The audio, I saw it in San Fran with some other IGN people, and the audio was not great. And I literally had no idea what was going on for a large part of the beginning of that film.
I can't imagine. Some US people have trouble with just normal English accents. Never mind Old English.
Chris Finch doing
it.
Exactly.
Because
he's got a very deep voice.
That's it. It's like Jeff Bridges in True Grit, where it's so deep that words don't exist anymore. Yeah. It's just like listening to the sea. Just like that's what the sea sounds like to me.
Oceanic trench exhaling.
Yeah, just he sounds like the bloop.
This one is from James from Southampton, and this is a heartwarming story, and I thought this was a nice note to end on. I heard you talking about remote play feature on PlayStation. I wanted to tell you about the experiment feature my fiance and I tried. I work as a web developer for a financial company and recently been designing some training video games, and I had to travel sometimes, but I really miss my fiance. Oh, isn't that nice? So we wanted to try some multiplayer games or some controller passover remote play. If my fiance signs in on the PS4 and I sign in over my laptop, you can actually play local multiplayer games together. It really helped, and you should see the face of my colleagues when they say, just going to continue working at my hotel tonight, and I go, well, I'm going to go play games with my fiance who's at home. Oh, that's cool. You can play like Overcooked.
That's amazing. I had no idea.
Play, even though one of you's not there.
Yeah,
it does mean that the reaction from his side would be very delayed. So she's like, "Get the chips on," and he's like, Okay.
Oh, is that our spirit now, is it?
Great.
It's like,
Don't play Overcooked.
thank you, James. I thought it was a nice story.
That's lovely. He's making making training video games for
his financial company, so maybe like it's gamified.
Gamifying.
Send them in. Send us a link to them.
I want to review that.
Yeah.
They might not be allowed to.
There's a very good,
If you're allowed, James, send them in.
there's a very good
To hack into Barclays.
one of the new Street Pass games is about trading stocks, which is mad. It's very good. It's really fun. It's about watching when to buy and sell, but it's me's going, it's gonna perform well today. It's great.
That's your scared, angry voice, isn't it?
Well, no, that's my finance voice. But,
Okay.
but I'm constantly on edge doing finance,
Right.
so could segue.
Is that what you're like when you submit expenses?
As soon as it goes down, oh yeah, absolutely. Oh God, he might notice. He might notice all the erroneous payments I put through.
Anyway, that's it for this week's
Excellent.
podcast. Do let us know if you're going to pre-order Switch, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and we'll bring them up in next week's podcast. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you, bye.